what indeed is the point of that if it bows in subordination to a bunch of completely faceless, anonymous people in Brussels? We don't know who they are, they're not answerable to us, and why can't we set our own laws? After all, this was part of the reason that people voted for Brexit. 17.4 million people wanted to do that, and now we find in the most graphic way possible we're not actually in control of our own borders. It's one of the key things that we were promised by those who campaigned for Brexit. And I think this is the moment where the government has to deliver. Tories have actually been going on about this for pretty much as long as I can remember. They've never managed to make it happen. And I think now it's vital that they, by hook or by crook, get this through. I suspect, though, it's not going to be at all easy. You've got to get it through Parliament. House of Lords, probably not going to make it too easy. So, look, I think it's a big test. I think it's about completing the Brexit mission, and by that I mean putting the elements in place where we can start actually making the most of Brexit as an opportunity rather than just dealing with all the loose ends and the things that make it problematic. Where are you on this, Afua?
I mean, I didn't vote for Brexit, but I'm in the minority because most people did. Therefore, the government has to deliver what the people want. It's not about me, it's about what people voted for, right? And if that means that we have to bring our laws in-house, as it were, and get rid of the European Human Rights Act and have a new Bill of Rights, fair enough. What I don't necessarily agree with is anything that's going to repeal rights that we already have. You know, anything that's going to make it easier for us to deport foreign criminals, I'm all about that.
Right.
Excellent. I'm all about that. Anything that's going to make it, that's going to sort of make us agree with human trafficking by a different name, I'm not in support of that. But at the end of the day, what I have to realise is that I'm probably in the minority. And like I said to you, and like you so rightly put it, 17.4 million people voted for Brexit. If this is part of the Brexit deal, the government has to deliver what the majority of the country want. I don't agree with it, but apparently it's not up to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing to realise is that if this goes through, it doesn't suddenly mean that nobody's got any rights anymore. You know, I saw a sort of heart-rending press release from Amnesty International, which was listing all sorts of things that would no longer happen. You know, apparently we'll lose all our ability to challenge the government on anything. I mean, this is a nonsense. The whole idea is actually to put power in the hands of people that we can make accountable.
But is it going to give us more power? Is it going to give us more rights? Is it going to put us in a position where we can make better decisions for people? Because from what I'm seeing, it's not doing that. So is it going to do that?
But last week is a perfect example. Whatever you make of the Rwandan policy, right? There's a jet sat on the tarmac in the United Kingdom, and 4 Supreme Court judges, that's our legal system, said it's fine for those people to go. And some faceless man in pyjamas got out of bed in Strasbourg and decided that it was all right to tell us. Now, I wasn't aware until last. I thought the ECHR was part... Was it part of the Brexit deal? No, it wasn't. It's not part of the European Union.
What we did say is we'd stay in it for a bit.
We're stand up to it's not to do with Brexit, but it feels as if it is.
It's very, very simple, Boris.
Like
get out.
Feet and inches and pound shillings and pence and all the things we want, like to make our own choices. And that kind of, particularly was the anonymous European judge.
In his pyjamas.
We don't have anonymous judges here. We know who our judges are. But justice has to be seen to be done. That's the whole point of justice. You don't get insidious creatures of whom you've never heard doing things and changing policies and grounding planes. So I think whatever your policy was, and in general, of course, we're all broadly in favour of human rights and not really in favour of severing something that's meant to be, you know, guarding and protecting human rights. We want humans to have rights. We're all in favour of that. But this felt completely wrong and absolutely anti everything that we thought that we had fixed up and that Boris was supposed to be delivering. It was one of these very much perception things, and it was perceived to be an absolute stinker. What did you think, Jeff?
Well, I personally think the Rwandan policy is a mistake. But the point about sovereignty, and I understand that for some people it just doesn't seem to matter. They can completely deal with supranational, international bodies who make these decisions, is that you have the right to make your own mistakes. it is an affront, I think, that the UK courts, the Supreme Court, I mean, it's just not supreme, is it? It doesn't deliver on the word.
On its core offer.
On its core offer. And yeah. I think if you look at other countries, if you look at the US have a Supreme Court, and once it goes to that, there is nothing beyond it. And that's a situation I'd want personally.
I think it's really interesting that a lot of people up to last week would have assumed that the European Court of Human Rights was part of that Brexit deal. But
yeah,
I think you're right, Vanessa. I think everybody agrees. We can talk about human rights, but we are a sovereign nation that voted to stay a sovereign nation and not be involved with people in Brussels. So as a sovereign nation, we should make our own laws and abide by our own laws. And if our laws are broken, then our judges should sentence those people doing that. I don't understand, how this works.